welcome to Big Beard and Friends, episode 264. All right, guys, listen. First and foremost, like I say every week, every Friday, I hope that whatever you're going through that you do not talk about, I hope you heal from. The reason I say these things week after week after week is for some people, it's their first time hearing that. And they might even like hearing that. And it may give them, a way to listen to a message or something that I'm going to say, or somebody will comment below or something. Maybe, just maybe, it'll be somebody's first time to the point where they need to hear something. I don't know. I think y'all dig what I'm saying after all this time. Weeks of me bringing my passion project. You might have noticed as I started, I would sit a certain way, or certain background change, or people would sit to the side, or camera angles change. I like this one right here. I'm not trying to be somebody. Got an ant that just fell. I'm not trying to pretend, but I just want the message to be across to someone who might need to hear it. Because when I have two people out of all the followers, which are, for fun, thank you guys for that, by the way. When you have two people that have reached out to you and let you know that you have done or said something that really, really, resonated with them, and it made them feel like a good thing was coming. When they tell you that you've said something that made them feel a good way, or made them think, or even prospectively, somebody says, I watched this on an episode of you, and it was here, and you said this and that, and I needed to hear that. Those things make me happy. I'm happy the person thinks they needed to hear it, or realize they needed to hear it, but I'm also happy because I said and did what was in my heart. Folks, you have to always follow your heart. Always follow your heart. Never. No. Which is actually what I'm going to talk about tonight. Never. And what do I mean by that? Never give up. When you give up, what's next? You just give up, never stop. Never do the bad things that will hinder you from completing your goal. Never let anyone tell you that you are not worth it. So many people that we have today go on and on and on, and they're hiding behind things. Now, we don't know these things because that's not who we are. But never let others influence you, especially if you know it's not right. I do say things a lot, but I say things in repetitions a lot. And one of the things I say is, you are important. There are people in this world who think that they're not. Right now, people's lives are in shambles. People's lives are in jeopardy. People's lives they're just in situations. Whether it's one good thing to you or a bad thing to them or whatever it may be. And, it's funny that a lot of people will say stuff like, oh, well, you never done this when you tell them a story. Or, you don't got it bad, be quiet. Or they say, don't you dare say that because that's not, I guess what I'm getting at, folks, is it's real easy for someone else to dismiss what you call important. Never forget that you're important. When you take the definition, never, you think at no time in the past, future, or no occasion. Not ever. If you apply that in a situation where you really understand to yourself at no time, not once, not under any circumstances, ever again, not even for a moment, not at all, you are certain it's not gonna happen. Is there a time to stop? What's next is what I'm getting at, folks. When never is the answer, what's next? Nothing? I don't believe in giving up. I don't believe in never speaking my mind. I made a lot of people mad in my life. Oh, you might have something smart to say and say, yeah, we know. I don't think you do. I said I made a lot of people mad in my life. By my actions? Nope. By my words. What I am. Yeah. Some people might like me. I don't care. The bottom line was my attitude wasn't I don't care, so forget it. My attitude was I don't care, and I'm never going to care. Not ever, not once, on no occasion, no, at no time do I care what your opinion is of me. If I did, I can't think firsthand when. Probably when I was younger, maybe in grade school. I never liked being around the bullies. Obviously, nobody does. I never liked being around the jocks. I never liked being around the popular kids as much. I have been told that you're never going to amount to anything. Have you been told that? If you have, how does that make you feel? Never? Sometimes you can say that never is the end, right? Never is not supposed to come out of your mouth unless it's something bad. Now, this might be an opinion. I'm saying never do that again. Never want to be in that situation again. Never going to be that with this and ABC and CB ever again. 1, 2, 3. We're not ever going to do this. If it was something that's detrimental to you, cool. How does it make you feel when somebody says in a relationship they never want to be with you again? How does that make you feel? They never want to see you again. And by relationship, yeah, it could be a friendship. We'll say friendship. You know how many people never got to do what they wanted because they chose something else as far as a bad situation? And that could be a detrimental thing, obviously. When you have this concept of at no time or no time at all, you could do things like winning games against siblings or doing something with somebody and never letting them win or never playing that game again. I know I keep stressing that word, but what does it take to get people to realize that that can be a powerful word? When you say things like, I'm never getting married, I'm never having children, I'm never getting a house, I'm never finding a good relationship, I'm never going to be good enough, I'm never going to achieve it, I never will amount to anything. When you start believing those nevers, your world can literally come crashing down. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, let's say I'm never, like I was saying earlier, let's do the opposite. I'm never going to be around that person again. I'm never going to allow myself to do that. I looked it up. That never is a Persian word. It's derived from a Persian word called nevraz. Nevraz is a combination of new and day. It means new day, but the words literally is like nevraz, something like that. But when it comes to their calendar, just throwing this in there real quick, the first day of the year is regarded as the start of spring when the sun enters the house of Aries. So look up that Persian calendar, which I was looking up before I got on here. It was still brought up on my... However, when you think of no time at all again, how does that make you feel? How about this? Let's do this right here. Let's do this. Let me talk it like this. Never doubt yourself. Never put yourself down. Never believe that you are nothing. Never believe the lies. And damn sure never, ever, ever believe that you can't achieve things. Never believe the haters. Never believe the bullshit. Never believe the lies. Never let them get to you. And never sell yourself short of something that you know you can do. You dig? Never let someone else dictate your thought process, especially if it's negative. Never grow tired of being yourself. I'm serious, folks. Never get tired of being you. Nobody can do it but you. Nobody can be you better than you. That's what I used to say about myself. I love being me. Nobody can be me better than who? Me. Never let an excuse be a reason. I know that sounds crazy, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. If all you tell yourself in this life to succeed is that you're never going to do it, guess what's going to happen? Right? You're never going to do it. I get on here week after week after week, folks, just to make sure that if somebody has a message, to hear a message, I'm going to try. I will never not do it as long as I can. Because at one time I thought about just giving everything up, just stop it, just do whatever. Go back to life, if you will, without this Big Beard, this passion project that I'm on. I just think it's nothing, I guess. But like I said earlier, and I've said before, when two people, one person, but if two people, all it takes is one, come forward and let you know that you've done something that inspired them and made them think. And, you know, one of those people, they told you some stuff that you didn't know. But because of a video that you made, me, they said I made them feel a certain way, and it was great because they need to yell, and they couldn't yell at me because I'm on their computer. I won't keep on talking, but that makes you feel good when somebody said I was feeling down, and I turned it on, and man, you were just like, and I started laughing, and suddenly I got mad, or didn't get mad anymore. I got mad that I wasn't mad, or whatever the person said. They just said that they watched something, and it changed their attitude, gave them a perspective change. Like I said, We often use never and ever to present like things that we hate and don't want to do again. But we eat those words a lot, which means we do what we say we're not going to do never again, but never being with that guy or girl again because they hurt you. Never going back to that place again because they were rude. But don't let your nevers control you, because then the nevers get real. They start controlling you. I mean, then the never, when they start controlling you, when those nevers start controlling your life, you get an extra word in there called ever. So never, ever. And then when that gets depleted, period, what are you going to do after that? Never going to know. Never going to do anything. Are you never going to try? Never, ever put yourself low. Never, ever think that somebody's not looking up to you, and certainly never not smile. Oh, I'm sure, Big Beard, it's hard. I'm sure some days we do all we can to laugh, to smile, to roll out of bed. Never stop. Never stop. Like I said, what's after never? What is that? Nothing. If you use never to dictate your life, just know that that is a very forceful way to say no. So you're going to tell yourself because somebody else said you were overweight or too little or ugly or bald or hairy or skinny or nasty or clean or dirty or trashy or you're gonna let somebody else's no, you're not, right? Somebody else's no, somebody else's never is gonna turn into yours, and I told you it's gonna be a never ever problem. You dig what I'm saying? When you think about it, that's a two meaning, because like I said, if you say never and it means no, make it say never again, I never will, and make yes. It means anything can happen, as nothing is impossible. That's what that term means. Never say never. Nothing is impossible. If you're hurting, if you are in one of those places where you absolutely feel like crap, I want you to understand something. Never give in. Never give up. And always, always believe in yourself. I know what I've said tonight was just like a bunch of different ways to talk about never, right? It seems confusing. It seems like things I shouldn't say. It seems like, because when you talk about it, you can only do so much, right? Never will I be that way. Never do I want to be like them. How about that? If you read your Bible, I think Proverbs in there says there are 3 things that never satisfied, 4 that never say enough: the grave, the barren room, land, and which is never satisfied with water, and fire, which is never and says enough. Proverbs 30, 15, 17. Go check it out. If you want to never give up on life, never give up. You know what it means, but it's to keep trying. Never stop working for your goals. Never stop working for you. Never stop feeling that desire. Never stop caring. Never stop. That's my whole message tonight, is based on never stop. And it's hard. People want to give up daily. They want to give up. Every time I turn around, I see these things and it hurts. Never stop. Folks, that's all I've got for tonight. The word never just came to me, and I had to look up some definitions and try to give on, thinking how many times that never got into me. Never has always followed me. But we have to change it. We have to make it better. And the things that I had said I'm never going to do again, instead of never getting to do, we got this. Never stop trying. Never stop trying. Never, ever. Guys, be good and have a great weekend. What are those 3 words? Love, peace, chicken grease. Later, guys, and thanks for watching.
Presentations.